is terrified. Eze's on fire. That's how I'm feeling right now. Just good vibes. Just good vibes all around. What's going on, people? Welcome to the live match reaction. Southampton 0, Palace 2. Massive second half from the main man, Eze. As always, if you do enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The lines will be open in just a few minutes time where you can join and have your say on that brilliant, fantastic second half performance. Absolutely controlled it. First half, could have been a bit better. We gave them too much respect, but we got into them in the second half and we deserved that win. Joined by AJ here. Potentially you could be joining as well in just a second. AJ, another win. 3-3, 9 points, goals flowing, clean sheet. You have to love it. Like there's nothing bad to say about it, man.
Bro, Eze Dinio, right now. Listen, that guy, yeah, playing his skin off, bro. Listen, he's a problem. Gareth Southgate, I hope you're watching, bro. It's time. It's time for the man to get his flowers and put him in the England squad, bro. He's killing it. 3-3. I'm a happy man. Like I said last week, Chelsea, get outside now. I'm not playing. We're good, man. We're good, man. It's good feelings. It's good feelings, man. I'm not used to this. When was the last time we had 3 from 3? Like, I'd have to sit there or look into that because I'll tell you what. It's feeling good, bro. Like, I'm getting too used to this. I'm getting too used to this. This is crazy.
I having 3 wins this season before these 3 games. Like, I can't remember the last 3 wins that we had. I remember Bournemouth, but other than that, I hardly remember the games that we had. Honestly, like, the one thing that we talked about in the preview as well was how we start the game. In a way, it was a bit slow. Let's get this out of the way. It was a bit slow, but we didn't concede. That was the main positive out of it. And in the second half, it was a simple case of, let Eze and Elise combine and let Eze get on the ball a bit more. And that happened, and then we caused them trouble. In the first half, it was just an attack, really. We just allowed them, and we gave them too much respect. But as the game went on, especially the second half, we just said, you know what? We know what we can do. We know what we can do. So come at us, and we're going to show you what we can do. And that's what we've done. That's what we've done in the second half. So that was positive. Another halftime change, well, in terms of tweaks in tactics, and it worked out. 2-2 now.
Man, it just feels so good, man. And it's quite funny you say that because once again, like we said in the preview, I wanted to win, but I didn't want us to concede and then wake up. And we were very much in danger of that in terms of the first half. I think, yeah, we definitely gave Southampton way too much respect. And for a team like that, in the position they're in, can't let it run. But obviously, Roy got into them at halftime, said his piece, did whatever he had to do. And the Eze show just began, man. I mean, there's a few players that weren't as elite. We'll get into that, obviously, within the play ratings and stuff like that. But it's good to see that this is the way we're playing without our key man. Like, what happens when the key man comes back?
You're scaring me. What do you mean by 3 players that weren't elite or get into a player rates? Are you giving another 3s and 4s?
There's no 3s and 4s. I promise.
What have you got planned up?
I'm cooking, man. I'm cooking.
Okay, all right.
I'm
cool.
cooking.
You never know with you. After your first ever player ratings.
No one's safe. Listen, no one's safe from scrutiny, bro. No one's safe. You should know that. But nah, bro. It's good, man. It's good to get a win and it's good to get a clean sheet. And more importantly, not waiting for them to score the goal for us to wake up. I think it's just like at halftime, whatever was said to the players obviously clicked because it was like a completely different team. It's well documented that obviously the first half, we just seem to be second half FC right now, man. It's just like, you get one version of Palace in the first half, one sort of second Palace in the second half. But at the end of the day, if we're getting the 3 points, man, I'm a happy bunny, man. I'm nice. I can now enjoy the rest of my weekend.
And I said this before the game as well. I said how I don't have any phase of complacency because I genuinely believe we're not even playing games just to stay up. We are having fun out there. That's what I'm seeing. We're having fun out there. You see Eze's second half performance, he's enjoying his football. And it goes down to confidence. I saw before the game, people were talking about, it's the fixture list. That's why Palace are doing like this. You're telling me this Eze was here before these last 3 games? No, it wasn't. He was low on confidence. Right now, he's having fun. We're having fun as a team. Taking it game at a time. The season ain't done. Taking it game at a time and trying to pick up more wins. We're coming on here. We're not talking about, we won the game where we haven't even mentioned relegation yet. We haven't mentioned any talks about are we safe here or none of that, because we're not thinking about that right now. We're thinking about the next game. We're thinking about how many goals we can score, and that's the current mood. And that all goes down to Roy. It goes down to players as well. Once again, another brilliant performance from the likes of, Elise. Eze. Eze was unstoppable. He was absolutely unstoppable in that game. And I literally mean it. There was like 3 players surrounding him. He was on the floor. He still gets the ball and run past his players. It's like, how on earth is he doing this? And that goes down to the confidence side of things. And he's a man that's confident right now. And that's why, even going into the next game against Everton, I already say I'm not fearing it. Even though we might end up losing that game, I'm not fearing it, because I know these players want to go out there and play. That's what I'm sensing now. Forget about the results. They want to go out there and play. They're enjoying their football, which we haven't said all season long. Of course, the previous manager plays a part to how we're playing as well, because he's up the fundamentals. But it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic watching some of these players reach the expectations and reach levels that we've been desiring all season long. And we saw that today. Eze, absolutely fantastic. Southgate, are you watching? Better be, because he's been delivering. He's been delivering. And remember, he was in England squad not too long ago, Eze, before he picked up that injury. And, he deserves it. He deserves it once again if he continues scoring like this, because that second goal, crazy. That goes down to confidence. He's always had the technique. The technique has been there, but the confidence hasn't. And that just shows it. I mean, I can guarantee you right now, the players are already looking forward to the next game. There's no complacency. There's no, we stayed up, it's cool now. I don't have that feeling. And that's a good thing about it, even after this game. But let's open up the lines and let's bring on some of the people. If you guys want to join, click on the pinned comment to join and call in and have your say on the game. Let's start off with Alex first.
Yeah.
Alex, another win.
I must be dreaming, because Wardy just beat like a Premier League center back to the ball on the byline. I cannot. Like that just doesn't exist anywhere. Like that play was like what happened, and that like preceded the goal for Eze. It was just so great.
Yeah,
sorry to start there, but I just couldn't believe that play.
It was unbelievable. Let's talk about Eze then. Let's talk about him. Of course, he's going to be the main
point
in the show. What a second half. In the first half, I don't know about you, but I was annoyed at him because he wasn't involved as much as I would have liked to see him. And that's not only just him attacking going forward. We're just a bit, we had a few moments here and there, but the intent wasn't right there. But the second half, we switched it on once again. And he was unstoppable. He was absolutely unstoppable. What do you think it's down to, Alex? Because we've had this, we played, 31 games now all season long. And in the last 3 games, that's when I've seen the best of Eze.
Can I start by saying I never lost faith in him? He's always been my favorite player ever since I saw him during the lockdown season. So I never lost faith. And I want to be on the record. After the Manchester United first game, I was like, Eze needs to be in the starting 11. I don't care if he's a liability places. He needs to be there. And turns out he's not a liability, by the way. He may not be the world's best defender, but that's like, you don't expect that out of De Bruyne. You don't expect that out of like certain players. You let him do what he can do. And it's been great. So I think that's part of it, is that he's letting him be in positions that help us rather than just being like, well, Ebbs, you're a great player, but have you tried defending more? You need to defend more. And it's like, but really? Does he though?
No, I think that's when you see the best out of him, when he has that attacking role and you don't give him as much defensive duties, and when he picks up the spaces, I thought he was brilliant once again. But it's not just Eze.
He closes down well too. It's not like he's a bad defender. Yeah.
What did you think of the likes of Ayew, even the likes of Gahey and Anderson? I thought Ayew had a very solid game. Of course,
Ayew, outside of missing the perfect sitter, he was in the first half the only problem, because Maitland-Niles was coming so far forward. If you saw it, like every single play, he was literally like right on the offsides line, Maitland-Niles, and every offensive play. So it's like, of course, Ayew's going to attack that. So, but he was doing great, and I was very impressed. Who were the other players you said? Anderson and who else?
He as well. Defense solid. Another
Yes.
clean sheet. Johnson.
Absolutely. And again, I just think our fullbacks showed a lot of liabilities again. No offense, I loved seeing the Wardy play, but he was really struggling, and I thought Ty Mitchell was fine, but he just doesn't offer much for us outside of he's an okay passer in the offensive side, but he gives up too many passes in the defensive side, which is really annoying because then it gives the other team an opportunity to come at you. But I don't know. I was very impressed. Yeah.
So, Alex, how long have you been a disciple of Eze since the Hodgson season, like you mentioned, or is this more of a new thing?
First lockdown season, I saw the Sheffield goal, and I was like, I think he could be the best player that we've ever had, even with Zaha at the time playing very well, you know? So, I don't know.
Yeah, look.
I couldn't talk about him in the previous matches because it's like 15 minutes, and it's like, well, Ebbs isn't starting because he's not on form. And it's like, yeah, it's hard to get on form when all you're getting is 20 minutes at a time and you're being asked to, just basically see out a tie and stuff like that instead of like going for it. Yeah.
Yeah, look, he's playing now. He's getting confidence. But in terms of the overall picture, as I mentioned, I didn't start the show talking about, we stayed up or we done this. But in terms of staying up,
we're looking up the table.
So that's what I'm gonna ask. So is it time to look up the table now? Do you think this is it now? We stayed up?
I think literally Brighton is the first team I can think of that we can't catch. I don't think we can catch them, but everybody else below Brighton, it's possible.
Whoa, Alex, where's the faith, man? They're not mathematically gone yet.
I know they're not.
That
Enciso goal today was incredible. I hate to give them credit, but Jesus Christ, that was a great hit.
Yeah, they are on form, but we don't have to talk about Brighton today. We can talk about Palace, so it's fine. Even if only like two games.
Look, we can
only
catch
2 games
Brighton.
ago.
That's right.
We can catch
That's
Brighton.
more like it, mate. That's it.
That's the spirit I want to see. No, but look, even jokes aside, 2 games ago we were talking about could Forest catch us or could all these teams below us catch us. Now we're talking about catching up to Brighton. It shows the mood. It shows how well we're playing. And that goes down, to respect to the manager as well today. But look, Alex, I really appreciate your time coming on, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yep, I could hear all the chants. It was great to hear from my house. So,
yeah, that's great. Yeah, the away fans were great today. Yep. The away fans were great today. All right, then take care,
Absolutely.
Alex.
Cheers, Alex.
Take care.
That was Alex having to say, the away fans were class today, man. But that's what happens, though. I remember even against Leeds, there was that talk about we're not selling out and all of this. But when you play good football like this, trust me, the next game is going to be sold out now. The away game, home game, every game will be sold out.
I'll tell you what, Dee, actually, I couldn't tell who the home team was today. Like, from the get-go, you couldn't tell who the home team... I thought it was our stadium at one point. I was like, raw, like, these Southampton men are a little bit flat. A little bit quiet.
Well, we spoke about in the preview, didn't we? We said that we need to start fast because they're low on confidence as a team, as fans, and to me, we didn't start as fast as I would have liked us to start. But despite that, we still survived the first half and got into it in the second half, so it wasn't too bad at the end of it.
Based on that, then, do you reckon they've just accepted that they're probably just down and they're gone?
They're done. They're done. I think they're done at this point. They're done. You can see it from by the players' confidence as well. They're just done. That's a team that's just given up. But let's bring on Rich next. Rich, another win for Palace.
Oi.
Massive W. What did you make of it all?
Frank Lampard, we are coming for you. Honestly, if of everything I want from the season is just to overtake his side. That fraud. Anyway. I missed the first half because I was coming back from football myself. But second half, Eze, man, he's top scorer now as well. He's top scorer.
Yeah,
he's just oozing like the drop of the shoulders. He's not making dunnies whilst he's on the floor. Like it's just all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really good to see.
It goes out to confidence, though, doesn't it? I feel like this is a player that's just like on cloud nine, like just flying, like he's just in a different world right now in terms of confidence. And you can see it from the second goal, not only just the first goal, the second goal. To take that shot from that far out. And even you can make that argument with that free kick that he had in the second half where he decided to take a shot and it was like 35 yards out and he just went wild. Like it just was like over the bar, just crazy over. But it just shows that he thinks and he can, that he could do all of this and he can score more goals. And that it goes down to that, really.
It is all down to confidence and fair play to Roy and the staff. The little one's excited too. They've done a great job in just lifting the mood, you know. Obviously, there's still a lot of talk of Vieira being sacked unfairly. But listen, I don't care what the fixtures were saying. What Roy's done in these 3 games and tactically as well, unbelievable. When we're flat, he lifts the mood. Like, I think we're more of a second half team. But either way, he's found a solution. And that's what wasn't happening with PV, you know, as much as some of us loved him, you know what I mean? So, Roy's got to take all the plaudits, and so do the players as well. Like this game, I was like, oh my gosh, Wardy against Sulemana. I was proper nervous. I was hoping Chris Richards would get a shout. But even he's doing his job. It may not look pretty, but it's effective, you know. And everyone's playing their part. A clean sheet as well is massive for us. It's good that we're looking at the table and stuff. I hope we don't take our foot off the gas. Everton next. Please, we slap them up as well. Like we just got to keep the ball rolling, you know.
Yeah, we kept them up in the league for too long. We gave them too many points in the past, so we just have to like show them levels now. Like enough is enough with Everton. Like it's been ridiculous in the past because they should have got relegated before.
It sounds crazy, but we could win. How many we got left? 7?
It should be 7, yeah.
7, yeah.
We could win 5 or 6 of those, you know.
They're all winnable games. They're all winnable games. Plus, you add that confidence to it, 100%. But for me, I'm taking a game at a time. It's now Everton. 100%. I'm not even looking too far.
But just to jump on that, actually.
Yeah.
So sorry, Dee, just jump on that. So what do you reckon, Rich? Because I know you keep an eye on these kind of things. What do you reckon the highest place we can finish then? Because in my head, I've looked at the maths and I've looked at the games and everything. I'm thinking 9th. Is possible. Yeah. Difficult, but impossible. Because I feel like we can catch Chelsea next week, depending on what goes on with them.
Yeah,
but
Fulham are 9th at the moment, aren't they?
They're about 8 points in front of us, something like
that. 7 points above, yeah. They're the only other team I think we can realistically catch without other teams picking up points as well. Because Fulham are, I mean, minus today's result, I feel like they're on the beach. You know, like there's nothing more to play for with Fulham. Maybe a cheeky Europa League spot, but yeah, you know what? Listen, Aston Villa got a new manager and they've been flying. It's happening with us. You never know.
Yeah. Just take a game at a time. That's how I see it. But before you go, another win without Wilf. That's a positive as well. That's 2-2. Right. And plus, away games. It's not easy as well. Going to Ellen Road, going to St. Mary. Like, it's not easy places to go to as well. And that's all without Wilf. That's another positive as well to take from this game.
Surprisingly, Ayu's been very good on the left-hand side. A lot more effective than he is on the right.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be... Yeah,
you know, that's good. He's taken a lot of slack this season. And, like, for me, I feel like his work rate's been incredible. It's just his end product. He should have scored today. I'll give him that. But he just looks a little bit more confident even going forward. Like, he's making risky... But, like, I think from what I heard on the radio on the way home, he set up a lead, but that one was offside. But he's making forward passes and stuff. So even in that little aspect, he's just making the right decisions more and more, you know. So fair play to him.
So hold on, Rich. For the second week in a row, when Wolf comes back, is he holding bench? Because no, I'll tell you why. Because Dee put it on me, not in a horrible way or anything, but he essentially said to me, and this was the Sam Johnston scenario, where it was like, all right, well, if you're on form, then you keep your place in the team.
I think we should keep as we are. Yes, I know he's looking to come back either next week or the Wolves game, right? So I say stay as we are. If it means he has to come off the bench half an hour to go and maybe just ease his way back, because he's getting a bit too many muscular injuries as well. You know, and the next one could see his season done. You know, so yeah, listen, we're flying the way we're playing, and yes, Wolf is unbelievable for us, but I would say don't change a winning team at this stage.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Look, Rich, I appreciate you taking the time, bro. Hopefully talk about another win soon. Hopefully, and that's the next game. Hopefully we keep this momentum going. Exactly, 100%. All right, take care, bro. See you later.
Well, Rich.
What's going on, T? What's going on? The different
Good evening, T. Good evening.
Are you in your basement? Where you?
Yeah, lot quieter now. Yeah, quieter down here, and less interruptions.
I'm surprised you got a good internet connection down there. I've never seen this up. This is the first time.
Oh, bro, I made sure I can get better internet down here. I've made sure I got the setup all throughout the house, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Them Wi-Fi boosters, mate.
Yes,
what do you
absolutely.
Make of that game, T? Another win, 2-0 away from home. It's fantastic. 3-3. There's so many positives to talk about.
Hey, man, ain't no more hate on my man Eze. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. And ain't no more of that from the fan base, man. Like,
preach.
What are we talking about right now, man? Like, oh man, that dude's unbelievable. Jordan Ayew played a hell of a game. I give him all the credit in the world. That first goal that Eze had, a lot of that was accredited to the work that Jordan Ayew did on the wing. He has looked a lot more comfortable on that left-hand side. I think a lot of it too is because he comes a little bit more of a threat for us because now he can go inside on his strong foot and make things happen. You know, he's never been a great crosser, so to speak. So being on that right-hand side hasn't been, I guess, as fruitful for him. But he's done a heck of a job, man. I'm proud of us, man. It's a good game. That's another tough win on the road too. You know, we haven't had 3 wins in a row since COVID lockdown. So
yeah, I can't remember. Bro, forget about 3 wins in a row. I can't remember the last 3 wins before these 3 wins. I remember Bournemouth. After that, I can't remember 3 wins all season. I remember we beat Bournemouth, and then before Bournemouth, I'm not even lying. West Ham, I think. Bournemouth, West Ham, and then before West Ham, I genuinely can't remember.
It's the World Cup, man. It's scrambled our brains, man. The World Cup's blown up everything.
World Cup, and plus we had like 3 months without no wins, so that doesn't help as well.
Yeah.
Not anymore, mate. Not anymore.
Exactly. But we have to continue from here onwards, and that's the thing. It's like momentum. And I don't know about you guys. I said it to AJ to you, but I'll ask you as well. I don't have a feeling that we're gonna let go of the Cats. Like I just don't see it. I feel like the players, especially the attacking players, they're enjoying the football. It's not a case of we stayed up and now let's just sit back. I just have a feeling. But every time we go out there, I
think they want to push.
Yeah, like we just want to push further and further onwards, and that's the main positive out of this because it gives someone as like the fan base something to look forward to as well as the players. Like now I said here, I'm pretty sure they're all looking forward to the Everton game now. It's not like time to relax. We stayed up. Whereas I don't know if you think that. Do you guys think we stayed up now?
Yeah, sure. I think
we have. Yeah, I can't see us going down. No way. But I don't think we're going to turn off though. I mean, you could tell just in the way that they finished this match. You know, we got up 2-0 and they were wanting the third one. Like we ain't turned down. Like we were searching for that third goal. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good thing to see. Is that even when we're in moments of perceived comfort, we still pushing for more, and I hope that's how they take the remaining matches for sure.
Yeah, I just want to. I'm going to bring on Tim next, and then we'll go through all the guests. But if you guys want to join and have your say, click on the pinned comment to have your say on the game. It'll be great to hear from all of you as much as possible. I want to bring up this comment quickly because everyone knows I was a massive Vieira fan, and we all probably were, AJ and T as well. We all wanted him to succeed, and he just didn't work out. We were frustrated when he got sacked. But I don't agree with this comment. I don't know about you two, but I just don't agree with this comment. I don't think it's as straightforward as that. Yes, we've had easier run of games, but under Vieira, Eze was not confident. And in the last 2 games that we won, or you can make the argument, all 3 games that we won, Eze's been heavily involved. And he looks confident. And for that reason, I don't think it's as straightforward as we would have won these last 3 games under Vieira as well, because I just don't maybe I'm looking into too much, but if Eze is not as confident as he's now, then is it as straightforward as that? I'm not too sure. What do you guys think about it?
For starters, Eze may not even have played because at the time of Vieira's sacking, Eze wasn't in favour with the management team. And I guess the $1 million question is, what does O'Shane think? Because obviously that was the massive fallout story that came out of that. Schlupp potentially may not have been in the squad because of the Lokonga element. It was actually quite nice to see him come on the pitch today, to be fair, because it kind of looked like Roy didn't really fancy him that much. But it's all hypotheticals, bro. You don't. There's no way of telling. Unfortunately, the reality is the decision's been made, and we're laughing. Would we have beaten Leicester 2-1 and kept pushing and plugging? And Edward, would he have got that goal? Would we have won 5-1 at Ellen Road? Would we have turned up to Saints today and just kept the heat on them? These are hypotheticals we can't work with because we don't know.
Yeah.
There's no point hanging on to that, bro. I'm just enjoying the wins. That's it.
Exactly. Let's just enjoy it. That's what I think.
I think the choice of wording is what's the most important thing when you're looking at it. It's not would have. I don't think we can say that Patrick Vieira would have won these 3 games. He could have won them. We could have won them with him at manager. I think that if we did, the matches would look very different than they have, first and foremost.
Agreed.
And like, think about this. And somebody in the chat just made a really good point about it. Davis, actually. Eze hadn't completed a whole 90 since the World Cup. He's now had 3 in a row. You know what I'm saying? So, and if we were to see him, we might have seen him on the wing the whole time too. Don't forget that piece too, playing out of position. You know what I mean? So, I don't think you can't make that statement and say that Vieira would have won these 3 games. You can't say that because with the way we had been playing underneath him, we could have easily got some draws on the road and been trying to say that we should be satisfied with it because Ellen Road isn't an easy place to go into and win a match. And it's not easy for us to go down to the South Coast, to Southampton, and win a match.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Whatever happened with Vieira happened. Do you get it? It's happened. As much as I wanted him to succeed, it's happened. I feel like it's now a good time to like move on, look forward, because end of the day, there are better managers out there than Vieira. There are better players that we've got at this team as well that we can improve. There's time to look forward to now. It's time to look up the table, trying to think about how we can improve the squad, how we can improve the management, how can we stop doing the same mistakes that we've done in the past and improve ourselves. You know, Vieira's happened. Vieira set the fundamentals to this, but now it's time to push on. It's time to push on and try to look up the table. Let's bring on Tim next. Tim, how you doing?
Eagles!
Massive win.
Good evening, sir.
What's up, Tim?
Oh, man.
Eze on the score sheet. What a great performance, especially the second half.
I mean, I'm smiling. Can I tell you my favorite? I want to address that comment in a second, but can I tell you my favorite moment from the whole match? Ed scores the goal, and the away end starts singing, "He's just too good for you." Is that not amazing?
Yeah,
I mean, I hope Wilf doesn't get upset by that, but that is spot on. He's just been brilliant. So addressing that comment though, I mean, I think if you want to point to a difference, this is one of the things that I see. You could point to different players, but the last few matches where we were grinding out results under Vieira, I think we were playing pretty good team defense. I think we were doing that. I think now we're playing some good team defense, and sometimes we're getting exposed. Wardy's getting exposed, let's be honest. But then there are, either Anderson's getting back behind him or Elise's coming back and playing and bailing him out. So we're playing team defense, but we weren't playing team attack. We weren't. That wasn't happening. We weren't seeing combinations. So you could say, I mean, I agree with you, T. You could say that maybe we win those games under Vieira. You might be able to say that because the teams are, and the quality of competition is different. And I like Patrick Vieira too, but I don't think you can say that the performances and the texture of the games would be the same. I just don't think you could say that.
Yeah, I agree. Offense, we haven't talked. We can talk about Eze all day long, literally. Defense, you have to give them credit as well. A clean sheet away from home,
definitely.
That was a positive. And Sam Johnson, he was in goal once again, and he done well. He made the saves when he was needed.
He made a great save in I can't remember who it was that came in and hit the shot right after it hit the post. Great shot curling in, and he dives to his right, makes a terrific save.
I think that's Bella Kochap that took that shot.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Terrific save. Yeah. I mean, and here's the other thing about Johnston. I love Vinny, but I think we all know that Vinny's distribution leaves something to be desired. And Johnston does get it. He distributes the ball. He doesn't always get it right, but he's always got an eye for somebody making a run. And he was getting it to IU quite a bit. I'll also say this. I do think that Jordan Ayew's he's definitely not our best player. But you know what? In these past 3 matches, I do think he's the most consistent. The work rate hasn't gone away. He's making runs. He's getting on the ball, and he's making things happen. Like, even in that first half, I agree that we weren't at our best in that first half, not by a long shot. But IU's still making runs during that first half. He's still getting on the ball. He's creating some threat and kind of dragging the team forward. And then in the second half, he's making a huge difference. I love the way IU is playing. So
do you think is him playing down the left hand side? Do you think that's the main difference maker, rather than because I think he mentioned, or it might have been AJ. Down the left hand side, he can cut in with a stronger foot.
Yeah, I mean it certainly seems that way. And if Edouard has a better game, we might see 4 goals. I mean, I don't think Edouard had a good game. He looked tired. He looked sluggish this game. So not at his best. But yeah, on the left side, for sure. But I don't know that I'd mind if Wilf comes back and maybe you give Jordan a run at number 9 and just see what happens. I mean, he has been that. He's been that on it. I've really enjoyed watching Jordan Ayew these past 3 games. I'm shocked, but I'm delighted. I mean, I'm very happy for him. He's been great.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And now, Tim, where do you go from here? Is it now a case we're looking up the table rather than down?
Don't you have to? I mean, you have to. Come on, you have to. And now it's just madness, but in the best possible way, that we're just looking 3 points back at Chelsea. How mad and so lovely would it be to finish above Chelsea? Yeah, you got to look up. You got to look up. You got to stay positive. The belief in the team is different. So you need the ambition to match that belief. So yeah, you kick on, you go forward, you're looking up the table. You have to.
Yeah. And before you go, Tim, a little bit of spoiler alert whilst people are here. Tomorrow, we're going to be releasing that video that me and Tim done. We look at the financial accounts. What can they expect from that video?
I hope. Please understand, I am not Kieran Maguire, so you are not going to get a detailed rundown of all the accounts. But we did look at the things that I think as fans that we all care about, like what is Steve Parrish doing with the money that he's getting. I think we answered some real questions about the money that came in from John Textor and how to think about that. And I'll say this, I looked at the accounts and I feel the performances have made me feel great about Palace these past 3 games. The accounts cement my belief that we are moving in the right direction. Now I want to see us take advantage of the way the league is, which is to say this: if we're going to sell, you better pay us. You better pay us. We are not selling cheap. If you want to buy from us, pay up. It's Moises Caicedo time. We're going to ask for 80, 90, 100 million pounds. And we're going to ask for sell-on clauses because that's who we are. We got a lot of talent. So I want us to be aggressive in that area. But yeah, I mean, I hope people like it, D. It was really, thanks for having me on, man. It was fun to do it.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it as well. I watched it back as well. It's genuinely really enjoyable. Even if you're not into your finances, make sure to check it out. It'll be tomorrow evening around 5 o'clock. That'll be released. So make sure to check it out. That's UK time. Genuinely, it was actually very enjoyable. We talked about all three owners. We talked about money coming in out the club and how we can looking at the finances. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And then we top out with a win as well. It's been a fun weekend. It's gonna be a fun weekend of content. Let's just say that. But look, Tim, before you head off, against Everton at home, is it right? Am I right in saying we should be expecting or trying to go for the win? Especially
you got to go for the kill. You have to go for the kill. I mean, I every game now, we got to be front foot, looking to put teams away. Because this is kind of the audition, don't you think? Like, this is the audition for the manager. This is the team you're coming into. If you want to, I think the performances are a bit like a recruiting tool for the manager that we get over the summer. And plus, Roy's got us flying. So just go for it, man. Have fun. Go for it. Let Ebbs be Ebbs. Elise was slightly off the pace today. I mean, I'll be watching AJ's ratings. I know no one's safe, AJ, but
no one's safe, exactly.
Tim knows.
Eze only gets a 5 for not scoring a hat trick. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Tim, stop empowering this man.
No, it was great. I mean, you got to go for it, though. I mean, we're enjoying our football, and let's have fun the rest of the season. Absolutely.
Exactly. Look, really appreciate your time, Tim, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon.
See you soon.
Appreciate it, Tim. Thanks, man.
Take care, Tim.
So AJ, he hit the one off the post on the free kick. Is that -1 point?
-1, exactly. I mean, that's just awful. He should have scored it. AJ is shocked that he froze. Exactly. That's how
he couldn't stand it.
He couldn't believe it. Yeah. AJ, you back now? You didn't even hear what we said about you, did you? Yeah. See? He disappeared. So he did give him -3. He wasn't happy. Yeah. He was that upset. So that's a spoiler. Like, I guess Eze gets a -3. You genuinely broke down his phone or whatever he's using to record this. Yeah. Anyways, this bring on Patrick has been waiting for a while. Patrick,
hey guys, what's going on, man?
Great win.
Roy's reading glasses, man. I'm telling you, man. He get those glasses. They're 3-0. He doesn't take them off.
Visionary.
He doesn't take them off.
You got 7 more matches that you got to wear those damn glasses every time we play. Now.
Then it looks like we're going to have 57 points and finish 8th in the league if that's going to be the case. As that spin move he had. T, you watch. I don't know if you guys watch basketball. I know T does. Did that look like Akeem Olajuwon with that spin move, man? He broke ankles, kneecaps, and and then he spinned his own self out of the one move he made. He was on the ground. He still got back up. I mean, that Roy just bringing confidence to them. He's letting the players play. He just there's no shape. There's no organization. He just go out and play, attack. It's I guess it's great because he doesn't care what any of us think. He cares about the club. He's going to do it his way. And if the players are better at attacking, he's got a better squad than he ever had, except maybe that first. Yeah. This is the best squad he's had by far. And it's just great performance. Joe Ward outrunning the whole Southampton team. Did I see that right? And nearly knocking it. I mean, what happened to that imaginary stat that we don't run as much? I think Roy got him in better conditioning in like 4 weeks. That's why firing Vieira at the time must have worked, because you had that week to train with some players. I mean, I usually am not speechless, but I'm getting close to it. I'm running out of adjectives. Yeah. Joe Ward, man, Joe Ward.
Exactly. Everyone, even like Wardy as well. Like everyone, it's just all around great performances. Yeah, and it goes down to it. Like we could have approached this game thinking of Southampton, they're 20th in the league. It's going to be a walk in the park, but we was in the game. Even in the first half, I never thought we gave them, like we approached the game in terms of negative. I just think the plays itself was just a bit too relaxed. I mean, we gave them too much respect. But yeah,
that's one. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, D, but also our passing the first half was awful. I mean, it was Lise was giving the ball away. Like, I mean, just one or two dribbles. I see where the passes were attempting to go because we were running behind their defense, but they just weren't getting there. Whatever adjustment. Like I said, I'm a novice when it comes to formations and things like that. But it just looked like Roy, first part of the first half, come out more aggressive and then just pluck them off when he counterattack the rest of the day. That's what it looked like to me. Joel Ward, I owe that dude an apology because that I mean, yeah, he got beat like a redheaded stepchild a few times, but I guess he figures, well, if I'm going to get beat, I'm at least try to help out Elise on one, just overlapping with him. That's just great. You know, it's great. And now we look forward to next week. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, D.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I'm looking at the lineup Fulham used. I'm surprised Fulham won today against Everton. I'm sitting there like, okay, I would just want to see one move made. I like to see Hughes in the lineup with Decore because Hughes and Decore, when Hughes got on there, it was later in the game, but go pushing up. Hughes looked good today, guys. I just think that extra solidity in the midfield, and I'm done with, like, Edouard to me just ran around and did nothing. Like a headless chicken. Sorry, that's how I saw it. And if you could, I never thought I'd say this. Put IU up top, let him play in the middle, and as long as you give him that, ability, give him all that ability to interchange. Put Schultz on the wing and let Edouard and let Hughes and Decore run the middle.
Don't know about that one, mate. Don't know about that.
Right.
Let's not get too carried away.
I'm trying to get Hughes in the lineup, guys. So how do I do that without moving IU up top?
Trying to bring his. I doubt he'll make changes, but we'll talk about it to the build up to the game, anyways. Yeah. Any other positives that you today? We talked about the goalkeeper, we talked about the defense, but we haven't mentioned Tyrone Mitchell. What do you think about his game? I thought he was pretty solid at left back as well.
Yeah. Better second half. I think he's a. It's weird. He's almost a better defender when he's literally right on top of the right back or the winger, because if you notice how many times he's actually took the ball off a player today, their right winger or their overlapping right Kyle Walker-Peters, where it looked like he would get past them and that left foot would come in and just strip the ball without getting a card. He did like 2 or 3 times today. I found that interesting. I think maybe he should be a little bit more aggressive as opposed to laying back a little bit. I didn't think the first caller you had thought he didn't play very well. I thought he had a solid game. I like him to be a little bit more aggressive. You get beat, you get beat. We're safe. We're 9 points up with a great goal differential over Everton at this moment, because I think Nottingham Forest is going to beat Manchester United tomorrow. So I can't hear you, T. You muted yourself.
I said the Everton's goal difference is -22. We're at -9.
So right I'm with D. Just go as far up the table as you possibly can. There's really, realistically, and maybe this is just crazy or optimism, but can you name me a game we can't win? You see what Bournemouth did to Spurs today? At home. Late. So that's the game that scares me the most left on the schedule. Bournemouth, they just keep fighting. The rest of them, Fulham had to win today just to make sure we're good. You guys got a lot. You guys got a lot other people want to talk to. So I enjoy the content. Go Palace. Go Roy. 7 more games, and then I'll start making my argument for him being manager next year.
So hang on.
Yeah.
So Patrick, next season, when Roy goes inevitably and goes into the sun, who are you going to be? What fan club are you going to be president of then?
Whatever championship management team that Roy takes over, he's not retiring.
No, Roy ain't going nowhere.
No, and
he's not Palace. Get him off.
Yeah, and as for the manager next year, I just hope if they do bring in one, which I mean we all hope they do. Make it an offensive type manager. We already have as long as we keep the same defensive philosophy and with the players, and hopefully they recruit 1 or 2 players. I don't want to see it really change. I mean, if Roy at 75 can say not quite all out attack, but go attack, then surely we can bring in a manager that can do that. Because the idea of us sitting, I mean, we got a good squad. Let's just put it that way. And I like to see the attack keep coming. Yeah. All right, guys.
We just have to push forward. All right, then. Take care, Patrick.
Up the
Appreciate it, Patrick, man.
Take it. That was Patrick. I mean, there are people that are saying what happens next season with Roy. Where I think I saw comments saying, at what point do we have a serious conversation about whether Roy should stay on until next season? Does anyone feel like that, or
let him retire, man? He's done what he's done. It's like bringing Alex Ferguson back to United. He's done what he's done.
Part of the allure,
let him go.
Part of the allure of what he's doing right now is the fact that it only has to be for a short amount of time. So he has the opportunity now with us, with what he's doing right now, to just kind of like you said, walk off into the sunset on a high note with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a lure with Roy that we don't have with a lot of other managers if he continues in this form with us for the rest of the season. Like, he's starting to really stoke the legend right now of Roy Hodgson with the club. But you lose a little bit of that if he sticks around and we have some low spots and people start talking bad about him. It's like, at this point, man, it's like, let that man go out on his shield at the top, and then we move on.
Exactly. Let's have a proper send off to him, because let's be honest, the last time he left Palace, it was sour. It was just negative. But I would like a good send off, and it was like during like COVID times and all of that. Let's just try win as many games possible. Let's have a proper send off. Let him retire, and let that be the last managerial job he's had. He's come in for 10 games, and hopefully we pick up as many points, and then afterwards, that's how he ended his career. Not with a relegation at Watford, but with a positive spell at Palace. That would be the most. Because look, as much as people don't rate Roy or don't like him, he actually likes Palace. Like, he's a Palace man, and he wants the best for the football club. And that's the one thing that you can't deny about him. So I just want the best possible finish for him and a proper send off. And it sets us up nicely as well. Everyone is happy. Like, you can't lose with getting more wins and sending off Roy with applauses, because that means that we ended the season strongly. That means the players ended it with high confidence, and it gives the next manager something to look forward to as well, and the fan base. So, we just have to make sure we pick up as many wins as possible. Let's bring on Looney next. What's going on? You're mute. I think he's frozen as well. He's in shock as well.
Okay. He's there.
Yeah, you're
Sorry,
back.
man, I was on mute.
Nah, it's cool. Can you hear us?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, look, another win away from home. This time at Southampton, 3-3. Great performance. I mean, Eze is going to be the main talking point out of this game. But overall, in the second half, Southampton, before we scored the second goal, they probably got big complaints in there. They had a shot that went over the bar, a shot that hit the post. But other than that, I mean, before the second goal, we controlled that game. They barely created anything until we basically said, all right, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think the first half, a lot of people say that we look slow and we had a bad half. But I don't know if you noticed, it's been like that the past 2 games, right? So it's starting to look to me like maybe a tactic in itself, because I did touch on that last week. When you look at the statistics, the stats tell a different story. Like, we look like we just got outplayed in a way by Southampton. When you look at the passing stats, touches, possession, we even got aerially dominated as well. But actually, it's not that. I think that's Roy's, if you like, cautious way of approaching every game, because we are trying to secure points. Do you know what I mean? So maybe he's trying to, it's like playing chess, I was saying last week. He is an experienced manager and he can do that. Do you know what I mean? He's got the tactical knowledge with Ray beside him to be able to pull that off, to say, look, like, let's stay 4-2 again, or 4-1, like we did last week. For the whole first half, let them come at us and let us see what they've got. How lively is the Southampton team really looking? Like, do they want to stay up? What are they going to bring to the game? And I think that was his first half tactic. Then when he sort of saw that, this team don't look very seasoned, like, there's no seasoning on the chicken. It's not going to taste good. This team just looks like they're there for the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he switched the play. I think what he did was he freed up Eze again. Then this time, what I noticed what happens is every time he frees up Eze, you've also got Elise free on the right. So now Southampton have a problem. They think, right, well, how many men are we going to commit to mark all these players? So the second they start committing all the men to mark the problems that we have, being Eze, Elise, all of a sudden Schlupp comes running through, which he's good at, driving the ball forward. And then Ayew as well, obviously, down the left. So, you know, teams fear Eze, teams fear Elise, and teams are starting to fear Ayew down that left-hand side because, you know, he did it for Ghana, the World Cup. He plays better on the left side, man. You know, he's got to play there, bro. And if I'm honest, I definitely agree. I think that we should keep him on, even if Zaha returns. I'm going to say a couple of things about Zaha. I know some people might not be happy, yeah? But listen, I love the player. He's a great player, good guy. But I just think there's something about, as of lately, when he was playing, that the link-up just weren't happening. Don't know what it was. I feel like maybe Zaha just tries to do a little bit too much. You see what I'm saying? Rather than release the ball quicker, he's trying to do too much and he ends up losing it. That's my first point. The second point being, I think he's a little more lazy than Ayew in terms of defensively. Doesn't help out as much as he should. He's been caught ball watching as well quite a lot. So personally, I'll just Ayew on the left. If it's working, like you lot are saying, don't change it, innit?
Yeah.
So Looney, just with that, right?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, but Looney, just with that, the only one that's fresh in my mind, right? Sorry. Let's say summer comes, right? Wilf walks out the door. We bring in the next. Well, I'm saying that, would you say bring in another winger to potentially do the Ayew job? Somebody a bit younger, somebody maybe a little bit fresh? Or do you just say, all right, bun it, let's just put some money on the right back, put some money on the centre midfielder, maybe a striker, and just let Ayew cook? What are you saying?
Yeah, I'd definitely say he's bedding into that position very well, actually. He looks more comfortable there, and I like the way he holds the ball up down the wing, and sometimes he's rushing forward as well. Yeah, I would say keep Ayew there and sign another winger just as backup. There are a lot of good wingers out there, you know. Like I was saying, one door I know would lose Wilf, but one door closes, another opens. Like we thought we were done when we lost Zaha, when he got out injured, and look how things have changed. So it doesn't necessarily mean we have to keep him. He's been great when we had him, but it's not the be all and end all, is what I'm trying to say. There are players out there. There is talent everywhere. And, you know, there would be an answer for that problem as well. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just say this. I know what you're saying about, you know, previously, but under the Vieira era, I mean, there was lots of players that were performing to the levels they should have been. That's why we didn't score goals. That's why you got sacked at the end of it. But then again, I disagree with you. The reason why I do, because remember the Leicester game in the first half, Zaha was arguably our best player. And he was running down the left-hand side before he got out injured and put lots of balls into the box. And for that reason, we haven't seen the best of Wilf because Wilf hasn't been fit ever since Roy's come in. But in his first game, even in a short sample, he was very good. He was very good for us. And for that reason alone, I feel like we could see a different Wilf, just like we're seeing a different Eze. And a different Wilf, in terms of Wilf getting to the levels that we know he can get to, he's extremely dangerous. Like he can be another player that can be, you know, unstoppable at times as well. But then again, I agree with, you know, changing the winning side, changing something that's working. That's a healthy debate. But he played well against Leicester in a short sample. He looked like he went back to the basics, going down the left-hand side to put balls into the box. And for that reason alone, I don't think it'll be the worst case scenario. Even if I don't know, actually, it depends on Roy. But even if he did start against Everton, I don't think it would be, you know, that bad of a decision if he plays like he did at the start of the Leicester game.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. But I don't know, man. I just, look, when you talk about a winger, yeah, I say there's two types of wingers. There's an out-and-out winger who's just like another front man, another forward. or you've got a complete winger. Zaha is not a complete winger. He don't like to do defensive work. Don't want to do it. Yeah, he does it on occasion, but he doesn't want to. And I prefer the complete winger, one that will really get back and that will hold Mitchell's hand at time as well and just put in a tackle, literally. Not even at time, majority of the time. Like, Ayu's always back when he needs to be. And that, for me, is a very, very important thing to have on a squad. If you've got two complete wingers on both sides, like for example, Eze, since he's been tracking back more, defending more, he's upped his game. Now he's becoming a complete winger. And you can't overlook that, man. We need that on both sides. Have to have it.
So, Looney, so what you're saying, you're not dropping the 200 bags a week, no? And letting them sign?
AJ, that's too much, bruv. 200 grand. I mean, look, at this stage in his career as well, what are we going to do if he gets injured again? Because he's not getting younger.
It's fair.
Let's be honest.
It's fair.
And 200, how many players do you think we could get for 200k a week with using that salary? Maybe 2, innit? Or probably 3 pushing if you sign young talent.
It's hard to say because modern Premier League money is different. I know, like, from an outside perspective and in comparison to what all the other Premier League teams do, because obviously we do know there's obviously a couple of Premier League teams out there that sometimes averages out as the norm. Like, there are a lot of Premier League teams out there that are surpassing that 200. They'll have about 4, 5, 6 players that are on 200 plus or 150 plus or whatever it is. And obviously for us, we're more small scale. So obviously there's a debate there. There's an argument. I mean, it's a fair point. It's a lot of money. But at the same time, you also drive a fair point that you could put that money elsewhere. It's an interesting theory. It's an interesting theory. I don't know how I feel. I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence.
Because, yeah, I agree. I agree to a certain extent. Like, 200k is a lot of money. But then again, replacing him is not going to be easy as well. You get it? Replacing him is not going to be easy. Some of the names that's been mentioned ever since Wilf has been rumored to potentially leave the club, I've not been at them. Like, I've not. It's made this the one that keeps happening, and I can see in his replacement. And I just think that's a massive downgrade. I'd rather pay 200k. And you made a good point about his injuries, and he has picked up a few injuries this season. But you can also make that debate that his recovery time also looks decent. It seemed like he was always recovering on time or earlier, so it doesn't seem like injuries are catching up to him yet. Like, he can still recover from them very quickly, like he has done in the past. So yeah, I mean, I hear where you're coming from in terms of, that's a lot of money. But then again, with Wilf, I'd like to keep him. Under a different manager, under a different attacking manager, we'll probably see. If Eze is playing like this, imagine Wilf down the left-hand side and Eze down the right. It causes the team trouble. Like, that is 3 very good attacking players that you just can't mark out of the game simply, but unless you just sit back. But today, what did you think about, the second half compared to the first half? So you mentioned that Roy done it. You think Roy's doing it tactically, but do you think in a way that, let's say we do that against Everton, do you think it can also at times maybe hit us back, especially if we go down? I mean, today it worked out in our favor, but starting the game slow, I'm not quite a big fan of it. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of it. I would like us to start a bit faster. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that can backfire. But because we're so solid defensively, which we are, we've got 2 great centre backs. Knowing that, I think is why Roy is doing that. He's trusting his centre backs, and he's got a good holding midfielder, being Doucouré, who's not scared to put tackles in. So if you've got the tools to do that, then it isn't such a bad thing to do. It's a cautious way to approach a game. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. I mean, look, you just got. It depends on the team, innit? I just felt like Southampton he approached with caution because they did look good against Tottenham. Like, let's be honest. So he thought, well, 1 minute, let's not get too relaxed here because we need the points. We've got to stay up. So let's approach again with caution, and we'll see how things plan out. And I'll start freeing players up as we go. Would I do it against Everton again? Against Everton, no, I wouldn't. Do you know what? I wouldn't. Against Everton, I play a more balanced game. So I'd attack as much as I defend, definitely. Yeah. especially at home with the fans there, 100%.
So what do you think about this relegation talk? Is it done now? Are we staying up, or you just want to see 1 or 2 more points or 3 more points until you're like, yes, then we'll stay up? Or are you just confident now that it's done? We stayed up.
I think we'll stay up. I always thought we would. Sorry, but I'm a bit cautious of Wolves as well behind us. They're starting to look a bit sharp as well lately.
Yeah,
and we've got Wolves coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Everton. Do you know what? My worries that we'll play Everton, we beat them. If we beat them, if it goes well at home, but we'll be tired for the Wolves game a few days later, and that's away as well to top it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my thing. A bit of fatigue set in, and maybe we pick up a loss with Wolves because we're a little sharp. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're going to be playing games as well, though, so they should have a bit of fatigue as well. So it goes both ways. But yeah, I'm not looking at the Wolves game. I'm just looking at the Everton game. I'm just thinking 3 points there, and then we move on to the Wolves game. That's how I see it. And is it a case of 3 points against Everton? Then it has to be 3 points. Like a draw, it wouldn't be okay with you, or would be a fan with a draw.
Yeah, we need the 3 points. 3 points more, man. Let's come for Chelsea, innit? Straight away, like we can do it, man. Honestly. That Chelsea team just looks so low, bro. Especially under Frank Lampard as well. They got no confidence, man. Like they're just. I'd love to.
From Tuchel, exactly. They went from Tuchel to Graham Potter to Frank Lampard all in one season. I mean, that's amazing in terms of how awful you have to be run for that to happen. Like, how on earth do you go from a Champions League winner to Frank Lampard, who literally got sacked by Everton? All in one season, like it's crazy. But yeah, look ahead. And funny thing is, today I was looking at the Brighton Chelsea game. I was saying, you know what, I wouldn't mind a Brighton win, and it did happen. That's my mindset. I'm looking up rather than down at this point. I think we should be safe. I'm not saying like at this current moment of time, if we have no more wins or no more points, we'll be safe. Maybe it might be a bit tight, but I expect us to pick up draws or wins along the way, regardless. So yeah, I think it should be fine. Well, look, really appreciate your time, Erin, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon. Take care, bro.
Man, that Looney, yeah?
Take care, man.
Whew. What a win. Any other things we want to say? I mean, we're going to have of course, the preview for the Everton game. Looking forward to that now because I can see it from the conversation. The main talking point is going to be Zaha. What happens with him? Because it seems like he might be fit for that game. But look, it gives us a bit more confidence and less pressure. Am I right in saying that? Going into the Everton game now?
I mean, yeah, taking 3 in a row, absolutely less pressure.
Yeah, I'm still on this narrative of just wanting as many points as possible, man. I want it clean. Like I want us to be on the beach come end of April, to be fair. So we're just chilling. To be fair, I didn't realize the Wolves game was so soon after the Everton one. So that one's kind of made me kind of double think, but I'm not the one paid to make the decisions on team selection and fitness and that. So that'll be an interesting next sort of week and a half in terms of how we sort of set up for that. Even if we picked up a win and a draw between the 2 games, I'm not fussed. Everton are vulnerable though. And Everton have still got problems to worry about. I believe they're touching 17th. So, we'll go through in a match. We'll go in a match preview anyway, and obviously discuss it nearer to the time. But we just need to continue that momentum, and our star players need to continue that momentum because there's been a pattern here. Eze, Elise, obviously Gay, obviously Anderson, even Edward. I'd even throw Mateta into that as well. Hughes has been another example. Ayew. We need to continue that momentum. Keep going, keep pushing. Because one thing that I noticed nobody's kind of mentioned is a lot of those players are playing for contracts, and a lot of those players are going to have to play to impress whoever the next manager is. Because one of the first things in that next new manager's to-do list will be, okay, here's the squad. This is the kind of budget we're going to have. However, you've got 8 players here that are potentially in or out contract. And yeah, granted, not all of them are first team names, but obviously you've got some obvious names that stand out. And it's like, well, would you want them in a squad? Can they perform? Have they still got something in them? Are they capable of something? So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, 100%. And long may it continue. What a good dilemma They play too well for contracts. I love it to continue. Give them the most amount of money as long as they keep playing like this. Give whatever money is needed. That's all I care about. It ain't my money at the end of the day.
When you talk about it, you got guys like Ward sprinting for the byline, man. Trying to get that
sprinting for a contract. Sprinting to the byline. He's sprinting for a contract at that point. He's running for his money at this point. It's just like who can survive because he's out of contract as well. I believe, unless you know with Palace, you never know these players out of contract. They just sign a contract out of nowhere. We just don't know about it until the final day their contract expires. So yeah, Ward is out of contract, so that'll be interesting to see. And this is crazy because for some of these players, it might be the last time we're seeing him, man. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but even the subs, like he's bringing on Lucas, bringing on Tompkins. I know he was injured, but some of these players, it's like a final run with them because I'm expecting some of these players to go. And I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. I thought he was doing it on purpose, but it's still interesting to see. Like Luca have few appearances here and there. Even Tompkins is coming on as well. Then
we're putting him in the shop window, mate. We're putting him in the shop window.
I mean, you can't put them on the shop window if you don't own them because these players are out.
Extend them and flip them. Extend them and flip them.
That's what I mean, mate.
Yeah. Well, look, let's wrap it up. We'll be back for the player ratings not too long. It shouldn't take too long to do the player ratings. It's going to be exciting, and we'll see how it goes. But if you have enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace videos. We'll be back tomorrow after the player ratings, after today's player ratings for the financial video. Make sure to check that out where we do analysis on the latest finances Palace have reported. Thank you to everyone who's called in. Thank you to T and AJ as well. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.
Up the Palace.